At that point, I heard Mion's cold voice.
ねえ、ケイちゃん。サトコのおじさんが帰ってこないって。何？
Yeah, I know. Right now, it could literally anything that's going on here. I said too much. I let my emotions get the better of me.
レナも聞いたよ。サトコちゃんのおじさんが帰ってこないって言った。
どうして？なんで帰ってこないの？
おかしいよね。だって今朝もちゃんとサトコちゃんのおじさんはいるんだよ。なのになんで帰ってこないなんて言うのかな。
ケイちゃん、言ってることがさっきから変。
Suddenly, Mion and Reina started to speak in strange and creepy voices. What were they doing? What were they saying?
ケイちゃんはサトコのおじさんがいると何か都合が悪いことでもあるわけ？
お前らこそ何を言ってるんだ。サトコのおじなんかいない方がいいに決まってるだろうが。
Oh, good, that's back.
それはもちろんいない方がいいよね。よね。
Something wasn't right. The next thing I knew, Mion and Reina were smiling thinly, and their eyes were dark and muddy, in a way I'd never seen before. And as our eyes met, that mud even seemed to fill the air.
サトコのおじは確かに嫌なやつだよね。私もいなくなった方がいいやつだと思うよ。でもさ、いるわけだし、仕方ないじゃない。
Nothing we can do. Something's wrong. Something's clearly wrong here. What the hell was happening? After a moment, a chilly, liquid-like feeling as though my blood had been mixed with sherbet crawled up my spine.
仕方ないって、そりゃ仕方ないけど、でもそれじゃサトコが。
仕方がなければどうするのかな。
Reina was trying to prompt me to say more. There really was no choice, so I killed him. I killed him to protect Satoko.
それは
放っておきなよ。そのうち解決しちゃうと思うしさ。
サトコちゃんがおじさんがいるって言ってるんだからいる。ちゃんと昨日もいたし、今朝もいる。そうならそうでいいんじゃないかな。
Mion and Reina were speaking unbelievably dismissively. How could they be talking like that? Mion and Reina, they were my friends and were seriously worried about Satoko's abuse, weren't they? They would never blurt out something like this. And I definitely killed Satoko's uncle. No matter what Satoko or anyone else says, I wouldn't acknowledge it, because him being alive was impossible. There was no way he was alive. It was impossible. And yet, since Satoko herself said he was here, then he was alive. I don't know why or how, but suddenly, Mion and Reina were at my side, standing there silently.
帰ろうよ。 ケイちゃん。
帰ったらね、今日は久しぶりにレナ宝探しに行くつもりなんだ。
I wonder. And let's assume that we actually have Satoshi's spirit that was working through us yesterday. And that Satoshi's spirit also manifested. And, kind of took our place at the festival and had a grand old time to provide an alibi for us. What would Satoshi's spirit need to do? Maybe pose as her uncle for a few days to throw off any actual, trail that he was dead at this point in time? And remember the ending of the last game? When Mion was reported to have been dead for several days, but was seen walking around all that time. I mean, it kind of, if you look at it from that view, it kind of matches up. I mean, it's just a thought.
みーちゃんも来るんだよ。
ケイちゃんも一緒に行こう。
I don't want to be around you and shovels right now.
もちろん拒否権はないからね。
Not allowed to refuse? If words could freeze blood, then there was no doubt that they would have frozen me solid. I could hear it. A layer of thin ice. The sound of all my muscles tensing. And with them closely at my sides, we left the school as if they were police officers taking me away. They talked about silly things the entire way home, like they always did, but they always stood at my sides, as if to prevent me from escaping. This was strange. Everything about this day was strange. Actually, it had been strange ever since the previous night. And thinking back, it had been strange ever since killing Satoko's uncle. This creepy meeting with Takano-san was only the beginning. That insane night was still continuing. Yeah, it still hadn't ended.
何？どうしたのケイちゃん。急に立ち止まったりして。
Or, we could actually be dealing with Demon Town here. If Onagafuchi is a place that actually exists, and once you kill somebody, you just kind of warp there. That seems about right.
ごめん。なんでもないよ。
When I stopped, it was distant, but I definitely heard them. An extra set of footsteps. That was proof. Proof that Insane Night hadn't ended. Mion left where she usually did, and finally we came to my house.
じゃあね、ケイチくん。お家で待っててね。レナ、すぐに迎えに行くから。
What was it? She was inviting me along on one of her oversized garbage treasure hunts at the dam site, right? But why now? Mion coming along was strange, too. Mion may have accepted Reina's little hobby, but she hated fishing through garbage, so she'd never come with her before. And then the location specifically being the dam site was a little creepy. The dam construction site was completely outside the flow of everyday life. It was so remote that no one ever went there unless they thought to in particular. Nobody lived there, and there were no lights, so at night it got dark very quickly. I was being forcibly invited there. there was no reason I had to fear Reina and Mion. Besides, wouldn't the trouble I'd make by refusing them be a pain to deal with? In that way, it didn't seem like going treasure hunting with them was a bad idea. But that insane night was continuing. Hadn't the sirens of instinct been wailing in my mind for a while now? Warning me that Reina and Mion were strange? That I needed to be cautious. The warning sirens were so freaking loud it felt like my head would split in two.
あ、レナ。俺、実はちょっと用事があるんだ。
用事？何の？
なんのって、用事だよ、用事。
用事なら、なんでみーちゃんがいるうちに言ってくれなかったの？みーちゃんとはダム現場で待ち合わせって言って別れちゃった後なのに。
Reina was smiling. That doesn't look like a smile to me, but her words made her discomfort clear.
ごめん。ちょっと言い出すタイミングを逃しちゃって。
本当に？
You're lying, aren't you? You just made that up now, you liar. That's what Reina's eyes said to me.
俺、頭が痛いんだ。風邪かもしれない。だから病院に行って薬をもらってきたいんだよ。
本当に？
That wasn't really a lie. My head did hurt a little bit, so I wasn't lying. Reina, she couldn't figure out if my head hurt or not just by looking at it.
なら仕方ないね。
After staring me in the eyes for a few moments, she fired a sharp, needle-like stare at me. The tension in my body loosened, and I felt like my knees might buckle.
診療所に行くなら早く行った方がいいと思うよ。あそこたまに早く閉まるから。
To the clinic. Near, Takano-san, huh?
ありがとう。そうするよ。
必ず行くんだよ。
Yeah, everybody has pretty much told him he should never try to have a career playing cards.
病院。
行くよ。
本当に行くんだよ。
行く。
It seemed like Reina had realized that I was going to refuse her invitation for a while now. With how serious she looked, she actually might call the clinic later to make sure I went. I couldn't say anything careless. Lying about getting checked out was just an excuse to decline her request in the first place. It didn't matter whether I actually went.
あ、ちゃんと行くよ。なんなら明日病院のレシートを持って行ってもいい。
それいいね。
Oh, good.
必ずもらっておいてね。レナ、明日見るから。
Another tingle started crawling up my back. There was no ignoring it. Reina and Mion must have been monitoring my movements. That wasn't normal. Far from it. All of it was insane. I did what I did because I wanted my peaceful life back. But what on earth was all this? It was far from peaceful. Something had gone mad, leaving the world out of order. With the other, Keiichi Maebara. But those creepy footsteps I've been hearing. With Reina and Mion acting so curious. And above all, with him being alive. Where was I? Hinamizawa village, Shishibuni. I knew that much. Was this really the Hinamizawa I knew?
おい、前原圭一。ここはどこなんだ？
I asked, whipping around before the front door to face the one who's been following in my wake all day. Nobody would have been there, of course. Yeah, Oishiro-sama's having a great deal of fun with this. Keiichi Maebara, huh? That's what I just called him. Called the one who'd been trailing behind me this whole time. That shadowy presence, always clinging to me like it was constantly waiting for the opportunity to change places. Footsteps always following me was another impossibility. It couldn't have been a ghost, so it was just impossible. So the strangest must have been my ears, my head, or Hinamizawa. Everything I could see was the exact same Hinamizawa I knew so well. And that gave me the creeps. Eventually, I decided to actually go to the clinic. I really didn't want to go outside, but a stronger feeling than that desire was the fear Reina might actually be keeping an eye on me to see if I went to the hospital. But before I went to the clinic, there was something I wanted to make sure of. It was at school. I pretended I'd forgotten something, and was going back to the classroom to pick it up. As soon as the thought crossed my mind, I was overwhelmed by paranoia. I was just going to the classroom, but I hated it so much, having to be so careful to fake it. After carefully verifying that once more that nobody was watching, I went over to the locker. Obviously, we're going to look for the bat and we're going to find it. Yeah, Satoshi's locker. I committed the crime with the bat I found in this locker, Satoshi's bat. And then I had thrown the bat into the swamp, which meant the bat shouldn't have been inside. But, what if the bat was still in there? It was a very dreadful, incomprehensible idea, but if it was true, it would explain a lot. If the bat was in here, yesterday's events would have all been a delusion. No, an illusion. I hadn't killed anyone and I'd gone to the festival. I had a great time rampaging about with everyone. It would prove that Keiichi Maebara was really me. Proof that I was only under some strange assumption that I had killed Satoko's uncle. Proof that it had all been a wild fantasy. That would explain everything. Nothing happened yesterday. I had just gone mad, unable to separate my shocking, uncle-killing dream from reality. That would explain everything. If the bat was here, would I be able to accept that reality? If it was here, nothing will have changed. If it was here, would it just mean I'd gone crazy? Preparing myself for the worst, I opened the locker door. I was actually scared of opening it slowly, so I threw it open with a bang. And just like the first time, the choking scent of smell and sweat, like a stale towel, came flowing out. There was a baseball uniform and some miscellaneous other things, like notebooks. There was also a shoe pouch. And as for the bat, it wasn't here. It was how I left it when I took the bat out. There was no doubt. Yesterday really happened. Now that I knew I wasn't a lunatic, I felt relieved. But at the same time, if I wasn't the crazy one, then Hinamizawa was. And that was evidence of a reality I'd found just as difficult to accept. Apparently the bat is not there. There was noise, somehow, creeping into everything I saw, and the world was losing a tiny bit of color. So what did I know about last night now? Now that I made sure the bat wasn't there, I didn't need to be here anymore. Shall I go? For real, to the hospital. It was my first time going to the hospital, but from what I've heard, it wasn't far from school. My mom had told me where it was. A big easy-to-see road went straight there. I went past the shopping street, made a turn. It wasn't overly hard to spot the sign with Erie Clinic written on it. There was one other person, an older man there in the air-conditioned waiting room. I went up to the counter and told him it was my first time here. The man behind the counter glanced at the clock and said there'd be a short wait. It was almost 5. Clinic hours would be ending soon. As I sat in the unfamiliar waiting room, isolated from everyone, and let myself feel the cool air, I actually felt relieved. What should I tell the doctor when he comes? I could tell him I had a cold, but I was the very picture of health. Actually, I wanted him to check my head. How about your ankle? You did twist that last night, remember? I wanted someone to confirm for me whether I was really sane or not.
前原圭一さん、
Oh, good, it's you.
診察室へお入りください。
Eh? The voice from the other side of the examination curtain. I thought I'd heard it somewhere before.
こんにちは。ここでお会いするのは初めてですね。
監督ってお医者さんだったんですか？
Yeah, I thought we covered that. Now that you mention it, he did seem to know his way around when he's looking at my shoulder in the nurse's office. It would make sense if he was actually a doctor. Come to think of it, our teacher called him Ire-sensei, didn't she?
一応お医者さんなんかやっています。お医者さんはいいですよ。
Yeah.
若いすべすべなお肌を見放題の触り放題。
You're not helping!
怪しいお注射で自由を奪って私だけの専属メイドに。
Really not helping, dude.
ありがとうございました。今のを見てただけで風邪が治りました。失礼します。ペコリ。
わったったった。前原さん。冗談です。
You shouldn't joke about that.
さ座って診察させてください。聴診器を当てますから前原さんのすべすべのお胸を見せてください。
What the hell is wrong with every adult in this freaking town? For some reason, I felt really relieved. After that insane night, as much as I thought everything had gone crazy, Coach here was doing the same thing he always did. I was very happy for that.
風邪ではないようですね。むしろ全身の擦り傷や切り傷の方が痛々しいくらいです。ひょっとして半袖半ズボンで藪の中に入って遊びましたか？
You could say that.
切り傷から破傷風菌が入った可能性もないとは言えませんし。
As I was chasing that man last night, I kept being scraped by bits of trees. I didn't realize that had so many cuts.
昨日のお祭りではしゃぎすぎましたね。若いというのはいいことです。
And once again, I apparently went to the festival.
監督も行ったんですよね。お祭り。
ええ、もちろんですよ。私こう見えても綿流しの実行委員会の役員ですからね。
俺に会いましたか？
This coach was the same coach that I'd always known, and I felt like I could trust him more than my weird friends. So I asked.
実は私本部テントでずっと会長さんたちとお酒を飲んでたんで全然お祭りは見て回ってないんですよ。前原さんには会ってないと思います。
そうですか。
変わった質問をしましたね。
Coach let out a laugh. He didn't laugh in an unnatural way like Mion and Reina did. Coach was okay. He was the coach from the world I knew. He wasn't someone from this abnormal world.
こんな話きっと変だと思うんですけど、笑わないで聞いてほしいんです。
ええ、どうぞ。思春期のシャイな悩み 大いに歓迎ですよ。
God damn it, man. Stop that.
俺と瓜二つな人間がいるなんてありえますか？
Coach hadn't expected that question at all and couldn't say anything for a moment. But then he smiled calmly and quietly answered.
迷信ですが、世界には自分と全く同じ顔をした人があと2人いるなんて話を聞いたことがありますね。いるならぜひお会いしてみたいものですが。
Maybe they won't have the ridiculous hairstyle.
あと、おとぎ話にも自分の分身が登場する話がいろいろありますよ。ドイツのおとぎ話に出てくるドッペルのお化けなどは有名です。
ドッペルのお化け？
ええ。自分の姿に瓜二つなんだそうです。不幸の前触れなんだそうで、これに遭ってしまうと近いうちに死んでしまうみたいな話らしいですよ。
When you meet them, you're sure to die soon. The story ended directly in death, plain and simple, and it made my spine tingle. Coach wasn't saying it to scare me, though. He was just offering a casual anecdote, but it made it feel all the more real.
そのお化けがHinamizawaに出るなんて話はありますか？
ええさて、どうでしょう。
Coach must have thought he was being teased, so he laughed in an exaggerated way. But when I didn't smile along with him, his laughter steadily grew fainter.
すみません。ちょっと真面目な話のつもりだったんで。
いえ、こっちこそ笑ってすみませんでした。何か気になることでもおありですか？
I wondered if I should tell him. Then, after resolving myself one final time, I finally spoke.
俺、昨日はお祭りに行っていないんです。
そうでしたか。お祭りは来年もあります。その時また。
そうじゃなくて、俺は祭りに行っていないのに、みんなが言うには俺は祭りにいたらしいんですよ。こんなことってあるんですか？
Oh, good. Fogged over glasses. He answered, choosing his words carefully.
お話を整理しますね。つまり前原君は綿流しのお祭りに行ったけど、その記憶がないということですか？
Can I help you? Can I help you, cat? I was trying to say something completely different, but I suppose any sane person would come to that conclusion. That night, Keiichi Maebara was actually at the festival, but I was saying I didn't go. That obviously meant my memories of going there had failed me. But that was absolutely impossible. The vivid act I had committed during the downpour couldn't possibly have been an illusion. All these scrapes on my body prove it, as does the fact that the bat wasn't in the locker.
いえ、違うんです、監督。俺は本当に祭りに行っていないんです。
気を悪くしないでくださいよ、前原さん。前原さんにはこれまでに気づいたら見知らぬ場所にいたとか、そういう記憶の欠落を経験されたことがありますか？
ないです。それに記憶を失ったとかそういうのじゃない。だってその祭りの時間には別の用事を確かにやっていましたから。寝てて意識がなかったとかそういうのじゃありません。
その用事は間違いなく。 大変失礼ですが、何かの思い込みでなく。
間違いありません。完全にはっきりとした記憶、いや事実です。
You know, you could have also checked the storage shed, because there should have only been one shovel in there.
お祭りの時間に神社にいなくて、よそで別の用事をしていた。それをはっきりした形で証明できますか？
That's right. Thinking it through brought me to this. There was only one way to prove that I really wasn't at the festival yesterday, and that was to show that there was no doubt that I'd killed her uncle. Coach saw me struggling to answer, and his eyes looked a little cold. I guess they would. After all, from Coach's perspective, I was just a weirdo, sputtering nonsense.
少し横になりましょうか。心を落ち着けて楽にしましょう。
別に横になりに来たわけじゃありません。遠慮します。
少し神経に高ぶりがあるようです。鎮静剤を注射して少し目をつむってみませんか？
No!
それで。
俺は異常者じゃない。
I realized Coach was treating me like a deviant, so I raised my voice.
気に障ったなら謝ります。ですからどうか落ち着いて。
俺は絶対に祭りには行っていない。それは本当に間違いないんです。
分かってます。分かってますから、どうか落ち着いて深呼吸を。
あんたは全然分かっていない。
Coach was stunned and stared in stupefaction. Great, someone else we're gonna have to kill.
前原さん、
The line's getting long here.
あなたは昨日はお祭りに来なかった。そうですよね。私は信じます。信じますよ。
Coach jotted down a brief note in his records. He was writing it in German, so that his patient wouldn't know what it said. But I could make a good guess as to what he wrote.
あの時間に何をしていたか、全部話さないと信じませんか？
いいえ、信じますから。どうか座ってください。
Before I sat, I tilted my head back a little. The blood in my face all drained out and I quieted down. After taking a deep breath, I made sure that I was calm now.
俺が祭りの会場にいることはありえない。なぜなら、その時間に俺は。
Should I tell him or not? I really didn't want to go on living like this, feeling this horrible. And I said them, the final fatal words.
聡子の王子を殺していたからです。
I could smell the concrete in the room. I could feel the air around us sharpen. Nobody moved. Only the sound of the clock ticking told us time hadn't stopped. With his mouth wide open, Coach even forgot to blink for a little while.
あなたが聡子ちゃんのおじさんを？
Yeah, the uncle is still alive, apparently. Unless Satoko's lying about it. Yeah. It's fine now, Keiichi Maebara. Don't hesitate. Admit it with all your strength.
はい。俺が昨日殺しました。
I spoke clearly and fluidly. I could easily tell that Coach's mind had gone completely blank.
どうしてそんなことを？いえ、それは愚問ですね。
聡子を救う最も直接的な方法だと考えるに至り実行しました。後悔はわずかもありません。
そうですか。
Coach smiled thinly and nodded a bit.
だから俺は祭りの会場にいるわけがないんです。
I left the brightness of my house for the darkness of the outside. After that, I dug holes, made phone calls, I had my hands full. And then I attacked him. killed him, and buried him. It was pouring hard at the time. The festival started that evening, but was suspended due to the rain. There were no gaps in my memories. From the late afternoon until it started to rain, there was no time for me to have possibly gone to the festival.
その体中の傷はその時に。
そうです。里子の家を少し行ったところに林道がありますよね。あそこで襲い逃げるあいつを追い、町に至る一本道で殺すに至りました。
それは本当に。
Killing her uncle, it wasn't some wild fantasy? I could tell that Coach didn't believe me. So I spoke slowly, not letting myself grow excited.
本当です。サトシのバットで殴り殺しました。そのバットはあいつが乗ってきたバイクと一緒に沼に捨てました。死体は殺した場所に穴を掘り埋めました。すべて自分が一人でやりました。
聡子ちゃんの叔父はバイクで通りかかったんですね。ではあなたはそれを期待して延々と待ち伏せを。
あいつが家から出ないことは想定していました。だから電話で適当な嘘を喋ってあいつが出かけるように仕向けました。
電話で呼び出した。でもあなたの家と聡子ちゃんの家は離れています。
Yeah, we put all that effort into destroying any sign that we did it, and now we're just confessing.
電話をしてからではとても待ち伏せに間に合わないのでは。
襲撃予定場所から最も近い電話として学校の電話を使いました。
でも前原さん、当日は日曜日です。学校には施錠がされていて入れないのでは。
偶然その時営林署の人が中に出入りしたんです。その隙に入りました。
After that, Coach grilled me on a few different things regarding the incident. He made sure to question me carefully, looking for any contradictions in my account.
信じましょう。あなたが昨日したことは夢とは思えない。
I explained everything, including minor details that only someone who had actually committed the act could explain. I could, of course. It was only yesterday. Coach realized that my story had no expedient coincidences or too convenient details that would have existed in daydream or delusion. Except for people showing up at opportune times to unlock a door, things like that. And finally seemed to want to believe me.
これでもまだ俺が記憶をなくして祭り会場に行ったと思いますか？
Coach slowly shook his head.
でもクラスのみんなが昨日確かに俺が祭りにいたと言います。そんなことがありえるでしょうか？
あるわけがない。きっとクラスの皆さんはあなたによく似た誰かとあなたを見間違えたのでしょう。それに集団心理が働いて皆さんはあなたがお祭りにいたと錯覚してしまっているに違いありません。
They couldn't have mistaken me. Mion and all the rest said they were spending time with Keiichi Maebara. It was much more than having mistaken someone else for me. But saying that out loud would just confuse Coach. He spoke to me in whispered tones.
罪の意識はあるんですか？
It didn't sound like he was criticizing me. And even if he had, I would have flatly said the same thing.
ありません。あいつのいなかった平穏な時間を取り戻すために行いました。だから俺はあいつを殺したことなんかさっさと忘れてこれまで通りに生活するつもりです。あいつが現れる前、聡子がいつも見せてくれたあの笑顔が戻った時、ようやく全ては終わります。
犯行を 誰かに目撃されたということは？
ないと思います。目撃されてればもうとっくに逮捕されてるでしょうから。
私は医者です。人の命を救う職にあります。だから私から人間の命を奪うことを肯定する旨の発言
Yeah,
はできません。
except for the one time.
だから私はあなたにこう言います。
Coach slowly rose and placed a hand on my shoulder.
さとこちゃんを救ってくれてありがとう。
Coach's eyes started shedding warm tears. When I looked at him, I started to feel some tears of my own. I didn't know what I was crying for. And so, for a little while, the two men in the room fought back their tears.
でもおかしいんです。
おかしいとは？
確かに殺したはずなのに、あの男は生きて家に帰ったらしいんです。
Coach's expression immediately sharpened.
状況にもよりますが、気絶や仮死状態など素人が見ると死んだようにしか見えない状態もいくつかあります。その可能性は？
脈を取ったわけではありませんが、確実に仕留めたと思います。
前原さんが襲った時の状況を再現してもらってもいいですか？
Coach rolled up a health and fitness week poster nearby and offered it to me to represent the bat. Though I may have been lost to the emotions of the beast that night, I remembered in detail the number of times I swung the bat, the angles I had swung from, and the force I had applied. Using Coach as a stand-in from the uncle, I reproduced them over, one by one.
そしてあいつが足を取られてよろめいた時、脳天にこう叩きつけました。その時これまでとは違った手応えがありました。頭蓋骨が割れたんだと思いました。
Coach was calmly analyzing this information, using the places I'd struck in the situation at hand to find out what state the uncle's body had been in.
そして死んだかどうか自信が持てなかったので、倒れた後も何度か殴りつけました。
その時の反応は？
初めは殴るたびに体が跳ねるような感じがありましたが、やがてそれもなくなり、何の反応もなくなりました。
Coach folded his arms and said a few times. And then he spoke.
死んでいます。ほぼ間違いなく。
それは仮死状態ではなく？
前原さんの話からだけではなかなか判断がつきませんが、ほぼ確実だと思います。それに前原さんは死体を泥の中に埋め、結構な時間をかけて埋めていますよね。
Yeah, we're just casually talking about murder.
仮に30分で埋めたとして、その男は30分間も泥水に沈められていたことになります。それだけの時間、呼吸が止められたら確実に脳死します。
殴った強さ以前に埋める過程で確実に絶命したと？
そういうことです。30分間泥に埋められていて生きていられる人などありえません。
ありえないですよね。でも聡子は生きてると。
Coach, a doctor, just gave his stamp of approval that he was dead for sure. That made it seem all the more unfair that he could still be among the living.
前原さん、これはとても恐ろしい想像なのですが、前原さんが殺した相手が叔父でなく別人である可能性は？
I've brought that up at some point, I know. He's right. That could be why it cleared up the inconsistency of my definitely having killed someone, but him still being alive.
そんなはずはない。だってほら、監督と一緒に聡子の家の前で酒瓶の袋を運んだ時、窓から顔を出した男がいたじゃないですか。あいつですよね。聡子のおじは。
ええ、間違いありませんよ。あの男です。
実はもう一人おじがいるなんてことは。
Yeah, that doesn't explain why we were at the festival. No, it
聞い
does
たこと
not.
がありません。あの男だけです。
あいつの特徴を教えてもらえますか。
まず身長がですね、175、もう少しあるかもしれません。
In order to eliminate the worst possibility that I'd killed someone else, Coach began to thoroughly compare what the man in his mind looked like with what I told him the person I'd killed looked like. But no matter how in-depth my description went, none of the characteristics differed. The uncle's traits, according to Coach, were all exactly the same as the person I'd killed. But those traits were all extremely vague, and they weren't particularly distinct at a glance.
もっとこう絶対にあいつだと識別できる特徴はありませんか。
そういえば私は見たことありませんが、聡子ちゃんが昔背中に虎だかなんだかの入れ墨があるなんて言っていたような気がします。
入れ墨。
That was really important. Not everyone had tattoos. If I found a tiger tattoo on the back of the man's corpse, it would be proof I'd killed the right one. At the moment, though, there was one other thing that would verify this. To go to Satoko's house, and see for myself if the uncle had returned home despite having died. But that was far more terrifying than digging up the body and looking at its back. Without even looking at the tattoo, I knew for sure the one I'd killed had been Satoko's uncle. I cracked his head open and killed him. And yet he'd gone back home. There wasn't any misunderstanding or even the shadow of a doubt in my mind about having killed him. And yet, it was impossible for him to exist. Kind of like how Keiichi Maebara had been at the festival, despite it being impossible. That small commonality made me feel as though a faint but bizarre force was permeating this insane Hinamizawa.
一体どういうことなのでしょう。前原さんはお祭りには行かず、聡子ちゃんのおじさんを殺していたにもかかわらず、お祭りにはあなたがいて、そして殺したはずのおじさんも生きている。
何がなんだかさっぱりわからないです。そうやって整理して言うと、まるで俺が悪い夢を見ていて、実は殺人なんて存在しなかったんじゃないかと思えてしまう。でも事実なんです。
Yeah, at least we have an ally.
この手でバットでガツンガツンと殴ったあの感触は絶対に夢や幻なんかじゃないんです。
Coach let out a slow sigh, and then after looking at the clock, he got up.
ちょっとこの話、もう少し真剣にやりましょう。ちょっと失礼して、紅茶でも入れてきてあげます。診療所も終わりの時間ですからね。ジムの方とかも返してあげないと。
Coach stood up and went out into the hallway, leaving me alone. The clock was about to strike 6. I was at the festival, and the uncle I'd killed was alive. Had I really committed murder yesterday? The only whisper of a fact proved it happened, was the absence of the bat from Satoshi's locker. In any case, I was glad that Coach had taken my nonsense seriously. I had just confessed to murder. Normally that would frighten a person away. But Coach didn't run, he cried with me. I was glad he did. Like so, my tension smoothly melted away, and I suddenly realized I really had to urinate. I thought to use the restroom while Coach had stepped out. There was one across from the waiting room. As soon as I left the room, I saw Coach and two male doctors wearing white clothing standing in the shadows of the hallway nearby. I didn't particularly intend to eavesdrop or anything, but I was quite surprised upon noticing how uneasy they seemed. I hid behind the wall and quietly listened in. It seemed like Coach was giving directions to the two doctors.
紅茶ですね。用意します。
睡眠導入剤を入れて、種類は任せます。
Aha!
味はミルクと砂糖でごまかしてください。
急激な眠気に不信感を抱く可能性もあります。興奮状態に陥って暴れ出す可能性も。
その場合は取り押さえましょう。男性スタッフはまだ何人か残ってますか？
山犬が1人、それに私たちを含めて3人です。
What was all this? I think I was already agitated despite what Coach said. Was that it? Was it just a casual conversation and it was only sounding unbelievable to me? Coach said he would bring some black tea and left the room. And then in the shadows, he was telling his subordinates to put some kind of sleeping powder in the tea? Plus, they were getting extra help, in case I thought the sudden sleepiness was suspicious and started getting violent. Hey, wait, Keiichi Maebara. Calm down, calm down. There's no way something this stupid could be happening. I mean, he was genuinely listening to my story and he even cried with me. I thought he was the one person in Hinamizawa who would understand. This was... No,
作り話か虚言の兆候があり、特に昨日の記憶が完全に混乱。虚実の区別の喪失。多重人格等の精神障害に酷似しています。でも、こんな急激な精神障害の発症は普通では考えられません。
Yeah, he's not allowed to be happy ever.
あるいは先天的、もしくは引っ越し前からそういう兆候があったのか。引っ越し前に精神科に通院例がないか調べたいところです。とにかく前原さんには穏便にお休みいただきます。
The two doctors nodded deeply.
前原さんのご両親にも連絡しておいた方が良いですね。何と言えばいいか言葉が思いつきませんが、彼の自宅の電話番号を調べてください。
I really thought he'd understood and believed what I told him. But now, from the other side of that wall, he was bluntly treating me like a crazy person. I believed you. I believed you! I'd let down my guard because I thought you were the only ally I had left after that insane night. Was that a lie? All that, about thanking me on Satoko's behalf, were you just pretending in order to keep me placated? My tears fell to the floor in frustration. I was an idiot. I was an idiot! I was such an idiot for believing that bastard! I heard footsteps approaching the doctors. A man in a dress shirt with no tie came running up.
入江先生、大変です。高野さんが見つかりました。
高野さんが一体どこに？
それが山中で焼死体で発見されたらしく。
Oh, apparently she got to die like that again.
死んだ？高野さんがですか？
The men, all surprised, exchanged glances. Dead? Takano-san? Hey, wait. So then, does that mean when I cursed her, wishing for her death, that wish was granted?
焼死とは一体どういうことですか？それは事故ですか？
県警の発表では 他殺の可能性が極めて高いと。
As I cried, I laughed quietly. Serves you right. Serves you right! If I hadn't run into that woman, my murder would have been perfect. But she just had to come driving up to me and tried to coerce me like that. I regretted not having killed her on the spot, but now she was dead anyway. My curse, my wish for her demise, it was fulfilled. Serves you right. Serves you right.
リサさんが死に、高野さんが死に、一体ひなみ沢には何が起こっているというんですか。まさかこれが今年のお社様のたたりだなんて言うんじゃないでしょうね。
Like hell, I'll let the curse be real, Coach said. Everyone present just nodded as Coach cursed at no one in particular. Yeah, maybe it wasn't Oshira-sama, but this was definitely a spell, a curse. I wished for her to die, so she did. If this wasn't just a coincidence, and she died because I wished for it, I'll take a potato chip and eat it! Then you'll die next, Coach. You betrayed me. You pretended to believe me, but deep down you thought I was a madman. You looked down on me with all that pity in your eyes.
では、とりあえず紅茶の準備を。紅茶は私が持って入ります。私以外には彼は心を許さないようですからね。
Shit! What do I do? What do I do, Keiichi Maebara? This time I heard the voice of a nurse.
入江先生。あ、いらっしゃいましたか。お電話です。
今ちょっと忙しいので、後でかけ直すと伝えてください。誰からです？
沖宮警察の大石様ですけど。
あっちゃ、悪いタイミングですね。出ます。
Yeah, he probably should have just used the bathroom window or something to get out. Coach left to go answer the phone. The other men headed towards the room with the teapot to make the black tea like Coach had ordered them to. Fortunately, Coach having to take that phone call meant there would be extra time for me to act. I had to decide what to do now. Would I let them make me drink the sedative-infused tea, or be held down and thrown into a mental hospital? Nothing would come from starting a brawl here. They had more people anyway, and they were all bigger than me. If it came to a fight, I didn't stand a chance in hell. If I couldn't win against them, then there was only one thing left to do. Run. Adrenaline suddenly rushed into my brain, and my body started to move with a keen instinct like it had on that night. My surface temperature quickly cooled, and the transmission routes between my cells enlarged. Using 360-degree visual information, 360 no scope, I searched for an escape route. I would open the window behind me. Outside was a parking lot. There were no cars. A little beyond there was the bicycle I'd taken to get here. I determined that this would be the quickest method of escape. I approached the window swiftly, but with little sound, to raise as little suspicion as I could. With the speed and silence of a shadow, like I'd had on that night, I chased her uncle. I unlocked the window and opened it up. A cool evening breeze wafted in. I stuck my head out and looked over the parking lot again. Nobody in sight. No need to hesitate. I quickly crawled outside and closed the window behind me. I held my breath and listened carefully. Nobody seemed to have realized I'd run. I looked around. Then I jumped on my bicycle and zoomed away.